Now, I've got a few MMA questions for you as well, especially because I know that you've launched the Fight app recently with Flips. I'd like to get our listeners to learn a little bit more about the Fight app and what it is that you're doing with them and what the plans are for that app. And in addition to that, a lot of my listeners, I'm sure would be interested in knowing how to work with you. I've got, I'm sure a lot of listeners who run small MMA promotions. They might want to get their content on your show. So I guess I'd like to learn a little bit more about what the Fight app is and how fans and listeners can get in touch with your people to, I guess, work on creating more content for your app.
Well, I think Matthew, that there's a place on there to contact us on the site, the Fight TV app. Should be a contact place there. Mike Weber, W-E-B-E-R, is the Senior VP of Marketing. Mike has worked at WWE, he's worked at WCW, and he's worked at Ring of Honor, so he's got a real good background as far as sports entertainment is concerned, and has helped share in the vision for the Fight TV app. Our goal is to provide small MMA organizations and pro wrestling organizations and boxing promoters with a platform to get their product distributed and shared with other fans. So that's really a kind of our goal. And I'll give you an example. This week on the Fight Network, as we talk, we have the LA Fight Club, the Golden Boys product is going to be on. It's free. That's going to be on a Friday night from Los Angeles. So there's some free boxing, and it's on at 8:30 Eastern. That's a freebie. Friday night also, we are featuring a TNA one night only Chokers Wild pay-per-view. That's on Friday night. Saturday night we got a USFSC 26 Edge and Revolt U.S. Freedom Fighters MMA from Greenville, South Carolina. So we've got a really unique variety of events that we have pretty much every weekend, and a lot of the content is pay-per-view, but there's also a great deal of content on the Fight TV app that's free. So we are reaching out to wrestling promotions around the world, MMA promotions, that we could be your home for distributing your product. And last week we had MMA on the app. We had arm wrestling. We had the Ring of Honor pay-per-view. So it's really a melting pot for all kinds of combat sports. And I used the app a long time before I invested in it. So, and I'd like to be very transparent on that. I don't want people to think what JR said. He's got an awful strong interest in this show. I sure do, or this app, because I have invested in it. But I believed in it before I bought in, and I really think it's a great app. I like to watch off-Broadway MMA. I like to watch off-Broadway wrestling, like Evolve and Shimmer and some organizations like that. And boxing, you never know when you're going to see the next big thing. And the prices of these pay-per-views range from, moderate to inexpensive to on up. So I think it's really good. Mike Weber is our contact, and I'm really Mike's done a great job. He's got that product knowledge. So, but we've had some big meetings. We're going to keep adding things to our app. The app has already got over 15 million downloads. Now, first of all, it's free. But I think what I would encourage people to do is just simply download it, which costs you nothing, and then take a little bit, go on the site and take a look at it. If you got a smart device, smartphone, a tablet, smart TV, like I use Apple TV, for example, and you got Wi-Fi, you're in. You get everything you need to make that work. So I really believe it's the way of the future for people that want to enjoy all levels of combat sports and sports entertainment.
All right, so to all my listeners, there's no excuses not to go download the Fight app right now, so you all go do that. Now, another MMA question for you I have is about Ronda Rousey. Without her championship belt now, without her undefeated streak, is Ronda Rousey still an interesting storyline to MMA fans as well as mainstream fans? Or is her popularity going to really suffer long-term from this Holly Holm loss, especially if she can't get a belt back anytime soon?
I think that Ronda's future is very bright still, without question. If for some reason her popularity wanes, then it seems to me it may be because of how she's presented. I don't think the UFC, which has not made a habit of making bad mistakes when they're building their stars, will replicate any kind of undesirable history history. She's a major star. I mean, she's on the cover of Sports Illustrated. She's been, she gets the mainstream publicity, and she's got another eagerly anticipated movie coming out, the Roadhouse movie that she's going to produce. I think the one loss is a scenario where it just goes to show you that it's the sport of MMA is that no one is untouchable, no one is unbeatable. As long as they're wearing 4-ounce gloves, Matthew, anybody's got a chance. So, and I also think that our society, even though we live in an age of youthful defiance by and large, or defiance in general, that we'd like to forgive people, or like to give people a second chance. Now, Ronda didn't do anything wrong to be forgiven for, but, her fan base, I'm sure, is disappointed. And I'm sure there are some people who didn't like her defiance and her confidence and her attitude, which I love. And I think she's going to be fine, and I think she's still a major player. So I just, it's a bump in the road. We'd like to forgive. We'd like to regroup. We'd like to support those that are trying to come back. And so I think she's going to be just fine. She's still going to make herself and UFC a lot of money, and she's still going to entertain the fans. And look, let's be honest. If the fans don't like her because of her attitude, whatever it may be, they will invest in a pay-per-view involving her, just like the fans did Brock Lesnar when he first got in UFC. They'll invest to see him lose. The greatest antagonists in sports entertainment or in combat sports, the greatest antagonists are big box office sensations because fans will invest money to see them get their ass whipped. And I think that there may be some that ilk, and hopefully Ronda can plug into that and rise to the occasion. So, but I think she's still hugely marketable, and